Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't, make sure you like and subscribe. Um, as you can see, I'm just checking my weapon to make sure it's okay. Um, I use my weapon every day. But that's not the scope of my interview today. As I said, I'm going to focus on other meaningful things that's important to me. Not forgetting less lethal, but when I have something major or something that's really of significance, I'll talk more on it. I want to talk about. I'm doing a um, ancestry research of my family from Ancestry DNA or ancestry.com. Um, 10, 12, 14, 15 years ago, it would even really, I really would not care or didn't care. I'm like, oh, okay, but when you have kids and you think about what you want to tell them about themselves, especially if you have girls, because girls get hit very hard with life issues, and they're very emotional creatures. Men are too, but it hits them harder with life because they're females. Um, I want, I kind of focus on system pride and for my children so they can believe it here. Um, and nobody can tell them outside in the street. But I'm doing an ancestry DNA. One thing I learned about it is actually my cousin did um, an ancestor where he's from, and he encouraged me to do it. So I finally did it maybe about 3 years ago, um, just to kind of say I did it, and I found out. And it changes, nothing is perfect when it comes to history. I found out that 30% of me is Nigerian, 20% of me, 15% of me is Cameroon, Congolese. Um, Another 15% is, I gotta look in front of me, um, Cameroon, Congo. Um, it's in those percentages, maybe about another 30%. Definitely West Africa. West Africa with European, with 11% European blood in me. So what I'm doing now, I'm going back and see how far my folks can go. I can go back to 1824, where my great great grandfather was a freeman, not a slave, but a free person. 1824, Virginia. He couldn't read or write, and he was a laborer. In fact, I found out that his wife was biracial, um, which hence my lighter complexion. So she was biracial, and five of their kids were biracial. Um, that they have, and then it seems to me that she died in 1876. Then he remarried again and had two more kids with another person. um, it's very fascinating to learn about. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. Trying to reach out to family members. My family's a little bit different. My dad died 1987, and he had a relationship before my mom. So he's been married or been in a relationship three times in life. And it's funny about the times that they live in. They just did not talk about things, or things just happen. it just was the nature of how it was. So a lot of it was, most of my family were farmers, on my maternal side and my paternal side, which is not far-fetched from the times, because black people just wasn't allowed to do anything. Um, they were they were mostly servants or mostly sharecroppers. And if you stayed in the South, my folks stayed in the South. Um, I had some sisters from my dad's pre-relationship that migrated up north, including their mom. They migrate up north. So I have family that's elsewhere. In fact, I have half sisters, not half sisters. I just want to say sisters. That's almost 90. Because my dad had me so older in life. He was basically in his 60s when he had it. So to tell you that my dad, if he was alive, he'll be 112. That is actually true. My great grandfather was born in the 1800s, like 1891 or 1880, something like that. So it's very different. Traditionally, if I had a grandfather, I'm 45, you usually have a dad that's 75, 80, maybe 82. Then if you had a great grandparent, or say if I had my father would be 65 or something like that. Then if I did have a great grandfather, would be 80. No, in my family, my great grandfather could remember Abraham Lincoln. It's fun to say out loud, but it's very true. Um, I implore you to excuse me. I implore you to do an ancestry DNA of your folks to see where you come from. I always say this. I've been saying this for well over 20 something years. If you know your past, you'll know your future. If you know your past, you'll know your future. If you want to know who you are and whose you are, you need to know your future. By going and learning the past. And I wish I had this mindset years ago, because I was very different. I was like, I don't want to know about nothing. Most people in their lives, in their 20s, 30s, like, I don't care. I wish I had this mindset back then. How much I could connect with people and family members. I'm very much of a loner type of person, but you kind of need the dynamic of family, the kind of that sustain you. Now, if they're bad family, you don't need them. If they're a bunch of beggars and drunks, and but wherever that family unit, even adopted or friends or something else, that's still family. Um, I find doing the ancestry, I'm working on trying to connect, so to see where the rest of my family, because it's something. It was weird because when my dad, I met all my siblings when my father died in 1987. They kind of act like they wasn't, even though we had the same dad, but we had different mothers. They act like we wasn't connected. And I think my mindset was back then, oh, if they don't want to know me, I don't want to know you. My mama and my dad is the only people I need to know. That's what unfortunately, my mindset was. But still, today, I'm like, okay, let me connect. Let me try. I'm going to try to make a connection. If they don't connect, it's on them. But, I think you should at least try, especially in the age of social media. You can instantly watch this video and see what I believe. But older generation, they not gonna do no TikTok. But people surprise you when they got time on their hand. They may do, some older people may know some TikTok. I know a lady that's almost 70 something. She do TikTok videos, um, and not like corny TikTok. Like she put meaning in with her grandkids. So it's funny how people are in this day and age. Very, very interactive. But yeah, do a DNA test. I did Ancestry DNA, which is ancestry.com, which is the largest ancestry base in the United States. And right now I'm doing what's called U.S. records. I'm trying to learn all the records. Most of the records I'm getting are death, birth, people dwell in the household, what line of work they did. So I'm going from 1950, 40, 1910, 1800s. And at that time, if you're in the 1800s, first thing first, at that time, if you were black of any color, they put you on the records just to say on the records, but they literally did not care. Count them as citizens, or even human beings, But surprisingly, my great grandfather was actually free. Was born in 1824, but was a free man in Virginia, and then moved to Timpton County, Tennessee, which was very, very, very rare at that time. So that's cool facts, and you should do one and see where you come from. All right, have a great day.